You are live. Let's see what we want to call this. Let me pin that to the top. Wow, it's exciting. What's going on, family? I hope you guys are excited. I'm excited to be here, right? And so today I want to talk about real quick, very quickly, the abundance mindset and really hacking it, right? Because I find that there is one key element that we have never really been taught to cultivate that is the root cause of a lack mindset, right? And that is our lack of self-worth or self-love there is, per se, right? And so I am reading A Course in Miracles, right? I just moved to Fort Myers, Florida, and they have this amazing flea market where it's actually quite overwhelming, and they have so many stores that you can choose from, right? And this one mystical store, Miss Sherry, I went and bought this book. I've been thinking about this book for like a month, and I went back and it was still there. And so today I want to talk about some key aha moments that I have had in terms of awareness in building, right, the relationship between my authentic self and my ego self, right? But to build that relationship, I have to go through my shadow and build that bridge and really heal my shadow to connect those two, right? And that's the work that we're doing, family. And so boom, one of the first things that hit me that I really started to realize what was happening in this book was that this book is written from the perspective of like Christ, right? And so this is my second book that I have received kind of magically and realized that was happening. The first one was Right Use of Will, and right now we have this one, A Course in Miracles, right? And so it says, it starts, you are the work of God, and his work is wholly lovable and wholly loving. This is how a man must think of himself in his heart, because this is what he is, right? And so the root of doing anything correctly in spiritual work, we've always heard them say, which is know thyself. And so that's the first baseline level of awareness that we need to have, is who you are. And what you are is a work of God. And whose work? God's work is wholly lovable and wholly loving. Therefore, this is how you must think about yourself in your heart. Now, whatever you call your higher awareness, your super conscious access, whether it's God, Spirit, Allah, Buddha, whatever the case may be, this is what we're talking about, right? So don't get too caught up in the names. Get caught up in the feeling, though. You know what I'm saying? And so, okay, here's the next. Like, we're still on the same level. We just got on the level. Now we're about to calibrate. We're about to get this equilibrium going. You see what I'm saying? And so now that I know that I'm a creation of God and God's work is wholly lovable, right? What did it say? Wholly lovable and wholly loving, which means I am lovable and have the capacity to fully love, right? When I start to calibrate, right, I'm on this, and we got to balance it out. What I start to realize is that spirit, which we know that we are, I am not this suit. I am a spirit inhabiting this suit. Therefore, I act accordingly, right? Spirit is in a state of grace forever. Your reality is only spirit. Therefore, you are in a state of grace forever. Now, talk about forgiveness. I just explained this to my homie. Just imagine if me and you was in a relationship, right? And every 5 minutes, boy, I kept doing something. Just kept doing something. Eventually, you're going to get tired. And as a human, you're going to be like, you know what, dog? I need some space. I got to go. But spirit don't do that. Spirit always willing to give you the answers, no matter how many times you veer away from what it just told you. No matter how many times you want to step on it, even though it said, dog, that's going to hurt. It keeps giving you the answer, right? And you know why? Because your spirit itself is grace, right? And that's what it just said, right? So again, we are further crystallizing what we know about the spirit that is inhabiting this suit. And the first two things that we know about this spirit that's inhabiting this suit is that it is a work of God. And the work of God is wholly lovable and wholly loving, right? And because it is a spirit, it is in a constant state of grace, right? That's where it lives. Now, this is where it comes to creating in this reality, family. right? If we don't have those two baseline truths, right? Those two truths that we just discussed. If we don't have those baseline truths, look what starts to happen, right? You respond to what you perceive. And as you perceive, so shall you behave. The golden rule asks you to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This means that the perception of both must be accurate. Now, if I perceive myself as a work of God that is wholly lovable and wholly loving, but my brother does not hold that truth, and we interact with one another, somebody's doing somebody a disservice. You see what I'm saying? Or, in my reality, if I don't know who I am, I can't create from a place of being wholly lovable and wholly loving because I don't know who I am. And my perception is off, right? So everything before me is damn near an illusion because I am not viewing the truth of reality, which is I am perfect, whole, and complete. Do you hear me? Okay? Do you hear me? Okay? And so here it says, the golden rule is the rule for appropriate behavior. You cannot behave appropriately unless you perceive correctly. Right? And so if you don't see that all of this is love, all of this is made through creation, you're made through creation, you can't create through that. You can, if you perceive that I'm disconnected from source, I'm separate from all things, right? If you perceive that, then that's what you're going to create, right? You can only create that which you perceive, right? And if you don't perceive yourself in divine accordance with that which created you, then you're creating from a place of lack, right? Off baseline. And then now you start doing crackhead stuff in this dimension to fill that hole of separation that you've created simply by attaching yourself to an illusionary thought. Okay? It should make you mad, right? This book is knocking me down. Right, and here we go, we keep going. Since you and your neighbor are equal members of one family, as you perceive both, so will you do to both, right? You should look out from the perception of your own holiness to the holiness of others, right? And so if you can't perceive the holiness in you, you need to keep that vibration to yourself and not pick it up and take it to other people's reality, right? Because the law of motion means that for every reaction, there is an equal and opposite action, right? I say that in my own words, but this is what this means to me. We are all at our own state of equilibrium, right? It might not be zero, but it's a balance that is according to me, right? And if you are not in a state of whole existence, don't come over here misaligning me with your imbalance. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And so that's why it means to tend to yourself, manage your own emotions. Don't go to other people to help them resolve your emotions. Take accountability for how you feel, right? Navigate your own emotions. Stop using external stimuli, right? That does include people, right? To help you navigate things that should be sacred, right? That should be between you and source, right? Right? That's how we cut ourselves off from vulnerability, right? When we don't experience it first and try to give it away, right? And that's what it means when we try to allow others to navigate our gifts of emotions before we've tended to them ourselves, right? We're giving it away. We're giving it away, right? We're giving away our power instead of being the master of our own emotions, right? Because your emotions are an intuitive gift that help you navigate this reality. And so if you want to create a better reality, why are you giving away the precious things that are unique to you? It don't make no sense, I tell you. It don't make no sense. And so the last little piece I'm going to say right here, y'all, is darkness is a lack of light and sin is a lack of love. It has no unique properties of its own. It's kind of, it's maniacish, it's hysterical because it's like, yo, what? Darkness really does have no unique properties. Anytime we're in darkness and we perceive something, it's an illusionary state. You're making it up, right? And so sin is you making up a disconnect, a separation between yourself and source, right? And so it's just a lack of love. It's maddening, I tell you, maddening. All right, but I'm out. Till next time, I love you. Peace out.